All right, guys, we wanted to thank everyone for showing up today. This is very informal. This is just going to be a meet and greet, a Q&A thing. Most of us are used to doing very structured videos. Some of us are used to doing very unstructured videos. And but we wanted to, well, I've done those myself. I'm not talking about you this time, Kat. So, but we wanted to meet up with everybody who was interested, because it's been a good year and a half since we had a real Hamfest. Orlando Hamcation of 2020 was the great last gathering before this weekend. So we've had a fantastic time meeting everybody. It's hard to walk through the hall without getting stopped for some of us.
How's it going?
Hey man, I know you.
Yeah?
I know you.
Yeah. Yeah? Oh, cool. Look at that. That's a beauty.
I watch your videos. I enjoy them.
Thank you.
The 705, the DX10. Because of you and your compadres, I got a DX10. So.
And but we appreciate the heck out of that. All of us do, and all of us very much appreciate the community that's out there, the group of hams that's out there, and. Sometimes it's hard to focus on the positive when you hear a little bit of negative, but in reality, most of us probably get 20 to 25%. Well, let me put it this way: 20 to 25 times the number of positive comments that we do negative comments. And as human beings, we tend to focus on the negative, and we try not to do that as much. But you guys are the positive comments out there. We really appreciate what you do. We really appreciate the support. So. Again, today's very unstructured. They put my name on the door, so I guess that's why I wanted to talk first. But if anyone has anything to talk about, wants to ask any questions, feel free. This is kind of a time for you guys. So,
you want to introduce all the channels?
Sure, I can introduce all the channels. Everybody here should hopefully know everybody else here. So I'll start down here. This is Steve KO4AFL. He's part of the. You have a channel of your own.
I do.
Okay.
I'm just getting my channel going.
Okay.
It's Steve KO4AFL Ham Radio, but also part of the Ham Radio Clubhouse, Tuesday nights, 7 o'clock Central, right, Joe B?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, 7 o'clock Central. So they.
I'm one of the East Coast boys, so
Yeah.
time zones understand.
Yeah. So he's with the Ham Radio Clubhouse mainly. This is next to him. By the way, everybody, one thing I've learned this weekend: if your name isn't Jason, Mike, or Steve, then you're an oddball ham radio operator. So, yeah, it's just kind of the way. So next to Steve is Steve, as I said, K5ATA, Good Game Ham Radio. Go ahead, Steve.
I do mostly videos. Everything I do is geared towards getting more kids on the air.
Oh yeah, you guys.
So I do.
Pass this down.
I guess I need to talk into this. Everything I do is geared more towards getting more kids on the air. Several of y'all have stopped by and dropped off radios or antennas and stuff for the Padawans. Much appreciated. And just people asking how they're doing. So that's whatever I do. It's all about getting them licensed and engaged in the hobby. So I appreciate all the support.
Hey guys, I'm Jason, KM4ACK. A lot of you, if you know my channel, you'll know that I focus on the Raspberry Pi computer. And after this weekend and all the Jasons, I'm claiming 1.0.
Yeah.
Hello everybody, I'm Eric KJ4YZI with Ham Radio Concepts, and started years ago with a Bofeng handheld, and I'm actually to the point where I'm just having more fun making the videos and playing with stuff than I am, it's more fun for me to explore with people watching the videos. So new stuff excites me just as much as it excites you, so that's why I'm making videos.
Very good. Hey guys, Kylle AA0Z, that's my YouTube channel. Do a lot of contesting videos, I do a lot of Node Red stuff, and I play trivia on my channel every month, the third Friday at 8 p.m. Central, and we do 4 rounds of trivia, and we play it on Kahoot. We stream it live, you play on your phone and your connected device, and it's a lot of fun. So come check the channel out and give us a subscribe. Thanks.
Cool. Mike, you can hold that for a minute.
Thank you.
Jason, Ham Radio 2.0. I talk about basically whatever's in my underscore tagline is what is new in ham radio. Started out as a review channel, gotten much bigger than that now. I've got a lot of probably my most popular videos right now are my technician in general classes, and I've had a lot of people come up to me this weekend and say they've watched my classes and they got their license, or maybe they watched my classes and they are testing today at the Hamfest. So those classes that I put up are actually done by a local club. I didn't do it. All I did was point the camera. I'm not the teacher, so it's done very well. And really great to see all you guys out here today, and just really like the engagement that we find in the live streams and the super chats and the comments and the videos afterwards. So thank you for being here today.
Hi, I'm Mike. K at MRD Radio Stuff is the name of the channel. I focus primarily, I'm super big into parks on the air, and I do a lot of things related to portable. I do a lot of antenna reviews, batteries, battery box builds, anything portable, some radio reviews, that kind of stuff, but I typically focus more on the portable side of things because, well, that's what I like to do. Who's this guy?
Hi, everybody. Josh Nass, Kylle AA0Z of the Ham Radio Crash Course. I guess I'm the producer and host, current steward of Ham Nation, so big honor to be able to do that. I just like to make videos about radio stuff, not just amateur radio, but, you know, all radio things. So I just have a lot of fun doing it. So thanks, everybody, for watching that's here. Thank you very much. Oh, you've got a lab. Jeez. Going on.
She had to plug herself in.
Sure did. I mean, I'm Kat, Dixie DX. I have a channel called Dixie DX Amateur Radio on YouTube. I'm on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. or no, 8:30 p.m. or somewhere around that time. Whenever they get off, the clubhouse decides to get off, I hop on. And then I have a show right now, Two Chicks and a Radio with Rhea, who is not here today, unfortunately. And ours is on Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. So, and we alternate between my channel and her channel. And we appreciate y'all watching.
All right, if you see any of me on video, you'll hear me referenced as Joe Brett. Call signs K5YVY. I am more of a hobbyist YouTuber, unlike some of these full-time professionals that's went before me. But kind of fell into it, just having fun, doing little videos, and start networking with these guys and girls, and it's the companionship and knowledge that can network together is just pretty cool. So on my videos, if I find something interesting, I think somebody else may find it interesting, so I'll try to make a video of it. Everybody has a different perspective, so just do it. And then we got the clubhouse that's regular scheduled with Steve and some of the others that couldn't make it or had to leave early, Tuesday nights at 7. So you'll find me more on live shows like that, and maybe crashing some other people's lives or something when they're in and accidentally share the link. But so. As far as that, I kind of consider myself a casual contester. I love contesting. When I remember that it's happening, a lot of times I wake up and realize I'm late for the show. But I treat my YouTube the same way. If I find something interesting, I try to share it with other people. So I always tell people just keep a lookout because I don't have a schedule, so you may find something.
Headphones off? Headphones off?
Cover your ears. Yeah, there you go. Give it some distance.
I'm Tank Radio, KG5YVY, and I do Tank Radio. I started over there with Jason co-hosting, and now I got my own thing going on. I like to focus on doing kits and projects and showing my mistakes, because when I learn, y'all learn, and if I can't find something on YouTube or anything, that means no one has ever done this or found this problem, and I want to show the answer. I want to show me overcoming the mistakes and the projects, builds, and everything I get done at the end. And I love going to these Hamfests and traveling. I want to keep doing this.
Sweet.
Sweet. And finally.
All right. I'm Adam from K6ARK Portable Radio, and I am definitely more on the hobbyist YouTuber side of things as well. I like taking ridiculous radios, whether they're super small or crazy antennas that I built, up to mountaintops, and trying to do so to activations in unusual ways sometimes, but it's good fun. And then the other half of my channel, or other part of my channel, is typically antenna builds, also some smaller kit and circuit builds. So just really enjoy building antennas and sharing all that with all of you. So thank you all for joining us here.
Okay. All right. Okay, so yeah, once again, thank you for being here today. So the floor is kind of open to everybody, anybody who wants to say something, ask a question, anything at all. So we talk amongst ourselves like daily. So we want to talk to you. Seriously, we're
tired of talking to each
Yeah,
other.
we're kind of tired of talking to ourselves, but
You have your own private channel.
yes, we do.
Sorta, yeah.
We have
Yes.
a Discord channel that we all talk in and kind of make plans together for stuff that we do collaboration-wise together and stuff like that. So yeah, we do a lot of Discord. There's several Discord servers represented here. Hopefully you guys are on them. And there's Josh has one. I have one. Joe Brett K5YVY has one. Sorry, Joe. But
Does anyone not know what a Discord is?
Right.
Raise your hands. Okay. So
Frank, shut up.
who's familiar with IRC? IRC? IRC?
Yeah.
IRC. So Discord is just a fancier looking IRC.
Newer version.
Yeah. It's a text chat, same kind of lineup, except we can break things down into groups like portable radio, ham radio questions, spots and skeds. And then there's also a voice component, so we can do voice chat as well with it, which is nice. You get enough people in the room, you can answer a lot of questions. So that's why we like Discord. There is, but the problem you run into Discord with video, like on my after chat, sometimes we'll get 50 to 70 people on, and if you start hosting video at that point, it becomes a big problem. So we ask not to do that. But if it's just a small thing, yeah, absolutely, you can.
Sometimes people like Frank show up on video.
Yeah.
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 Discord has
Yeah.
channels like
Yes.
Discord has channels like IRC, yes.
Yeah.
It's both a download and a web client, so you don't have to download. I
Good point.
haven't downloaded the client. I just run it on the web, and it works fine. So if you don't want to download something on your computer, you can totally just go
You can-
to.
You can also get it on the smartphone
Right.
too. There's an iOS app, Android OS app. So
My grandson taught me about Discord because he uses it to play video games.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's where it got prominent, was from video game, like Twitch channels, people who live stream video games. But guess what? It's got really well for ham radio stuff, because we can go direct to people, answer questions and all that. So
Yeah.
It's been a really cool tool for us. Like, I haven't met, before this trip, I had never met any of these people in person before, but we chat every day on Discord. We're in Zoom calls together, and you show up and start hanging out with them, and it's like you're old friends at that point. It's kind of crazy how you can build that kind of relationship with people these days through mechanisms like that. And some of that, I think, comes through just watching all their videos too. You really and I hope you guys kind of got to experience that with some of us, meeting us in person, that you actually get a pretty good feel for our personalities and who we are just through our videos. And I don't know that we any of us really try to act or anything in our videos. We just film what we're doing and put it out there to share. So, but yeah, it's been fun.
So the follow-up to that, what Adam said is totally correct. Frank actually is that way in real life. So, and that's true, because I've known him for longer than most of these guys.
And I didn't realize how tall Good Game was.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
The giant coming through the door.
When you're sitting down, it don't look like you're that tall.
That's because I'm.
I didn't realize
Yeah, I
that's
know.
what everybody else was.
That's a good point.
Thanks, Noel.
Yeah, thanks, Noel.
What's the name of the app you use for Discord? Is it
Discord.
Discord.
It's just called Discord. Yeah.
Yeah, the icon looks like a little game controller.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
little
Right.
face looking
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little face purple looking thing.
And I think the easiest way to probably find the channels, I may be.
Look in the description for this video.
There you go.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
usually a link to Discord. I know in all my channel videos. I know Josh has it all. Jason does have a link in his videos. Just click on it and it will load you right to the server. Or to download it.
Mine's easy. Mine's just hamradio2.com/Discord. I made it easy that way. But yeah, I know. And for everybody who has Discord, it is in the description of the video. For everybody.
Which is interesting sometimes if you're watching on like TV streaming device,
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, yeah, I don't have access to that, right?
Yeah.
Then you have to pull up the computer.
Then you go to Josh's show notes that Leia puts together.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Yeah. Nice. So yeah, go ahead.
You thought this was a positive crowd. I want to get a couple of things off my chest.
Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. Yeah.
We make faces like that all the time.
Yeah.
That's just what we do.
Yeah.
Let me give me the mic so I can repeat the question. Okay, go ahead. I'm ready.
I love Microsoft OneNote, or a YouTube video particularly that I like. I copy the link and paste it in, and it shows the cover screen and 500 products, and the one that I was interested in.
So what I hear you saying is
Yeah,
that we
repeat
both
his
have-
question. So because he's not Mike, so repeat his question.
Okay. So what you're saying is that you copy paste all of the description info out of a lot of the videos and put it into OneNote. And what I heard you say was that we both have too many links and not enough links.
Or we just leave some out.
We leave some out. Well, right. Yeah. Too much. Okay. All right.
I'd like to respond to the first question.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you think your use case is a broad use case? There's so many people copy. Have you tried printing the videos? You're right. I don't aim for OneNote.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a good one.
Do screenshots and write down the time hack, so I can find it in the video.
I know some people that do that for a lot of things, so I'm mainly just kidding. Yeah, I don't know how we would solve that, because a lot of stuff we put in the descriptions for reasons that are,
Boilerplate for the
Some
algorithm.
of you actually put time hacks in for some of the things you
On the
covered.
longer videos, yeah. That's a fairly new feature of YouTube. I say it's new. YouTube's been around since 2005. I think they implemented that like 2 years ago, something like that.
But the table of contents in the time bar, that's a relatively new thing that I think a lot of us are using.
Yeah, they're called chapters. But yeah, so I put that in my longer videos. But if it's like a 12-minute video, I'm not going to use that typically. So, but yeah, I have several. I'll have one going live here in about an hour and a half. That's 8 minutes. So. But yeah, it's most of the, I'll speak for myself right now, most of the time the links that are in the description of my video, number one, they're the same, except for the little top blurb, they're the same in every video. Number two, those are links that people have constantly asked me for over and over and over again, so I just put it in there so that everybody's got the links that they have. So, but...
Link to the links.
Link to the links, that's good, yeah.
And if we forget one, you can... Oh, there you go. Sorry. And if we forget one of those links, if you leave it in the comments, we'll go back and find it, and we'll be certain to get it down in the description. We,
You read the comments.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, we read all conversations with them in the comments.
Yeah, we read the comments, so.
We absolutely read the comments, but part of the YouTube algorithm, which changes constantly, but if you comment on a video, the more comments that you guys do on a video, and we all try to respond to our comments, but the more comments you do on a video, the more YouTube is going to put that video in front of other people watching YouTube for ham radio or DMR or DXpeditions or whatever the subject is. And the more comments that video gets, the more interaction, the more YouTube likes it. So the engagements, yeah, exactly. So
Like when they used to have a thumbs up and a thumbs down, you got that guy who's out here somewhere. Got the thumbs down. so now they make it to where it doesn't matter if you put a thumbs up, thumbs down, it's still an engagement.
Right.
So it counts as somebody interacted with you. So that means
But we like the thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. More thumbs up, people.
We all have apps on our phone that gives us notification when you comment, right? So
Yes.
we do see it. Yeah. We do see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, there's an admin app that whenever someone comments on my video, I can turn notifications on or off, but I always go in and take a look at daily who's commented on my videos.
well, when you get like 4,760 like 3 days.
Yeah.
I just start swiping when I do it.
Yeah.
Smaller channels you can go through. Big channels like
Okay,
these
so
guys,
something.
they get a lot more
Okay.
comments, and I'm sure that they are a slow scroll versus me reading every single, so. But read them.
Uh-oh, Noel has a question. Okay, Noel.
I actually have a comment that might help some folks out.
Okay.
Yes, thank you for that engagement. Awesome.
What you'll notice too is that if you have a lot of comments and you have questions and stuff, these guys' YouTube channels comment, they'll talk to them, do their comments on the YouTube channels. But I highly recommend going to Discord because there are a lot of people there. Instead of waiting for an answer from one of these guys, there are so many people there. There's a broad depth of knowledge of other operators out there that these guys may not know. And all of a sudden, I'm not even saying as a moderator, but other users, they've already faced that challenge and already have it fixed for you.
And they are way smarter than I am.
And it's live.
Yeah, I've got-
It's live. The Discord's 24/7, right? I work, I sleep. You know, I can't I can't answer questions as fast as they can.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind too.
Good. Yes, sir.
I just want to shake Jason's hand.
Everybody wants to shake Jason's hand.
Thank you, sir. As soon as we walked in. I have to go, so I just want to say personally thank you for the raspberry pie. Yeah, absolutely.
Indeed.
For our team. Awesome. Well, thanks for supporting the channel with views. Yeah. Give us some cool new stuff. Appreciate it. Next version's maybe 2 weeks out. Yeah, that's right. There you go.
Right on.
So, appreciate everybody.
Thanks for coming out, Devin.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Who was
Question
it?
over here.
Got a question for Adam.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything about the
Here.
two-way propagation, whether it was active propagation or it might have been internet, definitely internet propagation?
Oh, yeah, so the question's about there was a number of contacts from New Hampshire to the LA area, I think about 20 contacts in a 2 or 3 hour time span. And I did a little bit of digging into it in a video. And I don't think there's been any definitive conclusions either way. At this point, I'm strongly convinced it was some kind of internet link that the people involved didn't realize they were using. One of the contacts was made with a roll-up J-pole and 1 watt, and it was, a 5.9 signal report coming from New Hampshire, basically the same signal report as every other station. And all the other stations were also in the SoCal area were within line of sight of the LA basin, which suggests to me that there was at least RF line of sight, not quite perfect line of sight, but RF 2 meter propagation, ground wave propagation. So yeah, I don't think there have been any definitive conclusions, but as in identifying what internet links were involved, but I'm pretty convinced that was what happened there.
Quiet crowd.
Well, so I'm curious.
All right, what's your question?
I'm curious about everything behind the scenes that takes place. So I guess it's a two-part question. Number one, what's the workflow like from concept to my eyeballs on that video?
Oh my gosh, I want to be the first one to answer that.
And secondly, I'm fairly certain the majority of you have jobs outside of the YouTube responsibility. I wonder if you could just briefly talk about how you weave that together or how that all works and interplays in your commitment to this platform.
Thank you for your question. So, So first off, the question was what goes on behind the scenes, and how does it go from the concept of the video to the eyeballs on the screen across the world, whenever, and what do we do outside of YouTube, or how do we fix the mix the work and the play, and so I can't speak for all of us because some of us have successfully figured out what they're doing for how to just do it on YouTube, and some of us have full-time jobs. I never considered this to ever be a job where I would pay for anything, just extra side money to buy radios, because I grew up poor and didn't have any money to buy stuff, so I would sell things to buy cheap handhelds. My typical day goes like this. So after lightning strikes all night, working on towers that I maintain up and down I-95 during the summer, I come in at about 11 o'clock at night. My wife's mad because dinner's been there again, and I don't say hi, I go right to the room and make my video. And then at about 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, honey, I think I got it finished. And she's sleeping. And then somehow I end up going back to work after 2 hours. Then you got other times where I take a couple days off and burn all the vacation making videos. So I work for Florida Department of Transportation, Emergency Land Mobile Radio, backup Florida Highway Patrol Radio, public safety, NOAA wind speed sensors on the bridges and the Keys in Jacksonville. So when the hurricanes come through, specifically Irma, it wiped out all the stations, and I go down there a week at a time, and something's sitting there waiting for a video that doesn't get done for like 2 months. So that's kind of what happens. I come back, I'm just super tired. And this was my first vacation for like a year, and I had to lie to my wife and say, honey, it's not vacation, this is work. And meanwhile, I'm hanging out, having fun, and making some videos. But that's what happens in my thing. It's getting pretty hard where I had to take a hiatus, and a lot of people, unfortunately, YouTube decided to change right when I took a hiatus. I'm not sure if these guys here have noticed that, but nobody's getting alerts in the email or anything, and there's a lot of people that will not subscribe to the YouTube app. And I've met like 300 people that are like, are you ever going to make a video again? It's been a year. I made like, 150 videos last month or last year. They don't even know I exist anymore. So there's a lot of connections that have been lost there, and that's why I took a hiatus. I was just burned out. But that's pretty much, so that's me starting, and then maybe they could, somebody could pick up and see what they do. So there you go.
While you're in transition here, you said that something specific about using the YouTube app. I tend not to. I tend to use my browser because then I can bookmark video, and it's easier for me to manage those than to manage marking them in YouTube. But you're saying there's some
from my understanding, and they would know more about it than I did. From my understanding, you're only going to get an alert if you have an app downloaded on your phone. You subscribe. Is that true, Josh?
Yes. Well, that's the notification on the phone.
There's a notification on YouTube using a browser.
Yeah.
But there's also a notification if you have the app on.
But you got to go to the YouTube.
You just bring up the subscribers tab,
Make
and
sure
the
you
people
click
you're
the bell.
subscribed to will show up.
Right.
Yeah.
On the browser.
Yeah.
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 If you have an app, it does notify you whenever, if you click the bell, it notifies you.
But in the past, they used to send an email or something, right?
I think
Yeah.
you can opt in.
Yeah,
or
the
out
email thing.
Could you imagine getting emails from all of us every time we posted?
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing that. Nobody's got time for that.
And
So-
actually, as far as bookmarking, if you use the app, if you actually like the video, it puts it all in one section of all the videos. So if you just like bookmarking the video, if you like it, it's in one
Yeah,
section.
you can go back to your liked videos. You can also go to your history, but even if you didn't.
Yeah, you can.
Of course, you're going to click like on all of them, so that section's going to be.
Yeah. So that's easy.
New video, how to use YouTube.
What I do is,
Let Steve go.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
So I was going to say, I've got a couple jobs. I teach school all day, where I get to teach ham radio, which is awesome. And then in January, I started working for the ARRL, doing a lot of their stuff. So my workflow has kind of had to, and it hasn't really adapted yet, just to be honest with you. It's, I went from, I had a real steady workflow to all of a sudden it's like, now I have a 90-hour week. And so I'm still trying to figure out the rest of the workflow. But like, Eric was saying, I'm not going to take that hiatus because then all of a sudden things stop coming through. So, I still do my weekly live stream. I try to get a video every now and then. But it's tough, especially, you get that full-time job kind of thing, and all of a sudden you've got to develop that workflow again, and then things are morphing for me again at the ARRL, it looks like. So my workflow is going to change even more, so we'll figure that out. So
I just had a quick comment. So not towards you or towards your question, but what I do is, I subscribe to, I've got a list, and I probably have, 250 YouTube ham radio channels that I subscribe to. So I've got, every day I go in and all of the subscriptions, I go into my subscriptions and I see all the videos, and the ones that I want to watch later, I just go in and I click watch later. And it puts it into a separate bin, and then whenever I have time, I go in and watch those. So that might be something that you guys can do to put it in your watch later to come back and actually view it.
and some of them are more like talk shows. So you can, if you have a YouTube Premium, you can like listen to it with the screen off, more like a podcast. And I listen to a lot of those, like the coffee and ham radios and stuff like that aren't necessarily a lot of video-driven content that you don't have to see. I listen to that while I cut grass because Lord knows I have a lot of grass to cut, and that has to fit into my workflow too. Sorry, honey, I'll cut it when I get home. But that's.
I think to answer your question too is a lot of us have lists, right? And we will put together lists of videos that interest us, and we want to make a video. And then as things come around, that list has priorities, right? And things will boil up to the priority list. And if something's hot, we'll make a video of it, right? And then we will sit down and I don't know about these guys, but for every about 10 minutes of video, it takes me an hour to an hour and a half maybe. I don't have the workflow of some of these guys, and I don't polish my videos a lot. I know that a lot of people take a lot more time to edit videos, I am very rough cut, and I just kind of put it out there. What do you guys think on video time? Josh, you're looking at me like I'm crazy.
That's a long time to edit.
Yeah. So exactly. So I'm not a very good video editor.
Oh,
right?
Just edit?
Yeah.
Oh, I sometimes do an hour and a half.
Yeah. I'm not a very good editor, so it takes me quite a bit of time to edit videos. So.
Right, that's what he said.
Oh, I missed that.
Maybe some of us have people that edit for them. We don't know.
No. What did you miss? Like every 10 minutes, for every 10 minutes of video.
I don't really look at it that way. I'm just like, the video takes
whatever
2
it takes.
hours to put it together.
Yeah.
I mean, because some videos have a lot of cuts, and some videos don't. They're just like talking at someone, and you throw some B-roll in.
Yeah.
You move it on.
It depends, but things get different priorities. Yeah. And then I also know that I need to do live videos at a certain interval. So sometimes, obviously, that takes priority. So it's tough with work-life balance and getting videos out. Some videos drop off the priority list.
Talking about workflow, I have a notebook. Every video I want to make or I'm going to make, I have it on a page on the notebook. And tell me to speak up. Oh my God. I have a notebook, and every page I'm going to actually do a video. My first line is the working title of that video. The next 2 lines underneath that is a story. What story I want to tell with the video, building the thing, explaining how to build the thing. Or Frank goes to Hamfest and randomly puts a video together. That's this one. And then underneath that, I just have a list of shots, list of scenes I want to do. And then I have links and other things I want to put in there, but that storyline is critical for me because if I don't have a story outlined for it, I can't really sink my teeth into it.
So basically, you have a storyboard.
Yeah, on a little notebook.
Exactly.
Frank is apparently the Kubrick of the
But
so I do none of that. My typical day, I am recently unemployed, so I've decided to go YouTube full time and see if I can make a star out of myself. But I don't script anything. I might do a couple takes of something if I fumble on a word or something like that. But
Frank can't do that. Could you imagine doing like 17, 18 takes every minute?
I'll usually just get out there and I usually wake up in the morning. I'm like, what do I want to do today? What antenna do I want to play with, or what bit of kit do I want to show? Or I've started doing some what I'm calling pro tips, just short little videos of things that might help you out in the wild while operating portable. And a lot of the things just kind of come organically as I'm filming, but there's nothing scripted. It's all just I'm talking to the camera, and that's about it. And a lot of times with my portable videos, especially like just Parks on the Air activations, I might have an hour or two of footage, and that definitely you want to really kind of shoot for under 15 minutes is kind of the YouTube happy place. So yeah, that definitely, editing those videos takes hours. So yeah, there's definitely, I would agree with what Kyle said. There's easily an hour and a half or so for, if not more. I mean, I've done videos that I've edited almost all day for 8 hours. So, but now I have the time to do that. I am polishing them up a bit more. I'm taking my time filming out in the field, taking different shots, multiple angles. I'm just filming with my iPhone, and I use this same kind of microphone. I've got a little lavalier here that I use for audio, and so every take, I have to take my tripod, set it up in a different place, set the angle, move it over here. I don't bring multiple cameras or anything like that, and then you got to load it all in the computer, and I just edit on iMovie, and put it all together, and I'll usually do one rough cut, and then that usually gets rid of most of the crap. Then I'll just watch the video, and I'll kind of do a final cut. Usually it takes me 2 cuts to get everything done, and then I'll go find some royalty-free music and try and put it underneath that.
That's important.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but yeah, it's very much off the cuff, and just totally winging everything I do.
I think that's pretty consistent. Summits on the Air related videos, and I will tell you what, making a video for a specific purpose where you're trying to teach specific things and hit specific points is a whole different ball game. I produced, I think, about 40 to 50 minutes of video for that so far, of edited video. And I would estimate that I easily spent at least an hour effort on every minute of video. And you know that, and then you pile on the actual filming of that as well. It's been a tremendous.
I can tell you, his video is epic. So
it's been a lot of work, but a heck of a lot of fun. And if you guys have seen my videos, you probably noticed that I really like the art of the video and trying to make it, you know, fun to watch and you know, put some of that artistic effort into the production.
My build videos easily an hour per minute, because it's just you cut a cut and then I go back 2 or 3 cuts. Does that cut make sense? Yes. And then go to the next one, then jump back and just keep doing that over and over.
We're using a lot of words that isn't exactly words.
So I'm going to hand this to Josh in a sec, but first I'm going to interrupt. Come in, Cody. So for those of you who are wondering who my Padawans are, here is one of them. I did not expect him to actually be here in Huntsville. So this is the one that a lot of y'all gave money to help get this kid on the air and stuff like that. So he earned his extra ticket in the summer. You're a rock star, brother. So just so you know, he is one of them. Y'all are welcome to ask him any questions you want after this about how we roll. He loves answering questions.
Okay. So I know the question was, how do we fit full-time job? Well, I'm also a single mom. So not only do I have a full-time job, but I also have 2 boys. One lives with their dad, one lives with me. I've not cut corners on that. The one that lives with me, yes, it is a full-time job. Both my boys are actually IEP. They both have special needs. So not only am I doing this, but I'm also doing that. And my youngest one requires a lot more things than my oldest one does. So they both have the same ADHD, mixed receptive expressive language disorder, and I'm also an advocate for special needs. So I do that along with this, so it is a lot to put in. So my lives are easier for me to do than for me to sit here and do videos. The weekends I don't have my kids is when I try to do videos. So again, not discounting these guys here, I've got a full plate. And I manage it very well, considering the fact that now that y'all know how everything I have going on is a lot. So that's where I'm at. So I just put things together on the weekends and stuff. And a lot of my stuff is, I don't have a storyboard like Frank over here. I'm more like Mike over here, where I just shoot it. And if I take multiple takes, it takes multiple takes, and I get mad at myself, but it's fine. I cull off. So, y'all have any other questions for me?
Let Josh go.
Here you go, Josh.
Okay, great question. And we could probably spend the rest of the time talking workflow and all this stuff, like easily. Workflow generally is how you get from the thought to the video that you all watch, right? And so generally, I have spent a pretty inordinate amount of time trying to cut the workflow down to the smallest amount of time that I can, largely so that I can spend my time working on my actual career and being with the family. So generally, I use a camera that has, you know, an SD card, right, that pops out, or I use this little guy that I'm shooting a time lapse with that's doing B-roll. A lot of stuff that I do is really, I'll think about it for a while. If it's a video review of like a radio that has a lot of features, you know, I haven't posted a 705 review, an IC 705 review. I've made lots of singular videos, singularly topics, but not like an overarching review, because there's just so much to it. How do you get that down to the sweet spot of 15 minutes? It's really difficult. So I'll try and shoot the video. I have an overhead rig, a physical overhead rig, that I can do those tabletop shots where I can drop the camera in, all one camera, and then like using iMovie, I use something called Final Cut Pro. I dump everything in Final Cut Pro, snip out the dead air spaces, take a first pass on that. While I'm doing it, I tag spots where I want B-roll, right? And B-roll is all those shots you see with the money shot, the cool shot of the radio or the piece of kit or whatever, and then you throw a little Ken Burns on it, right, where it like zooms into the left, and then do the audio adjustments, right, for voice and all that, and that's generally the workflow at that point. I'll also be looking for the thumbnail, the hot thumbnail shot. What's the cool piece of the whatever, where I'm at, what I'm looking at, et cetera, that I want to add, and then that goes into the thumbnail making. That's my workflow, and it could take an hour to 3 to 4 hours. Yeah.
I want to say something real quick. So I'm going to interrupt Frank, which is a normal day. Mark's in the room. This gentleman in the green shirt right here has been a huge support of all of the channels up here. He welcomed us. This has been an awesome show. It's been a great show.
Thank you so much, Mark.
And sometimes it's hard to explain what we do for people, or what we try to do for people, what we try to do for ham
well
radio.
said.
This guy gets it. He has been incredibly supportive of all of us, and we really want to thank him.
Jay, thank you. Jason, for doing that. Thank you for coming.
Great job, all the volunteers too.
Right, yeah, all the volunteers.
Great job. Yeah.
Okay, Frank. Pass Frank the mic.
Here you go, Frank.
I was just going to make a quick joke on how many face pictures we have of ourselves when we're making those thumbnails. Just like a folder of gigabytes of
Oh,
me.
that's a pro workflow tip. We only
Yeah.
have a couple, and then we just reuse the same ones.
The
Vern's got his hand. He's had his hand up
Yes.
and down. I saw there's
Come
some
on,
others,
come on,
but
Vern.
you go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness.
Start with Adam, and then we'll go down.
So for me, it varies a lot. I manage quality at a large naval aviation industrial facility, and I work a lot. So there are weeks sometimes where I've got mountain rescue training over the weekend, another job that doesn't pay anything, and I won't produce any videos for a couple of weeks, or won't do any editing for a couple of weeks, and then the next weekend I'll spend maybe 10 to 15 hours that weekend shooting and editing and playing with video stuff. So it varies. I'll do weekday evenings as well when I get home, start plugging away on some video editing. Had a trip a couple weekends ago in the Eastern Sierra, 4-day backpacking trip, 110 video clips that I'm working my way through with a soda activation in there and a climb of a 14,000 foot peak. So that's the next one on the list.
For me, it's about 2 to 3 hours every night I spend on editing video, and during that time, you probably find me in a random Discord server just chatting it up. So if you see me there, but as work-life balance, Thursdays and Wednesdays nights, I do no YouTube. I hang out with my friends on Wednesday night, and then Thursday nights it's just me doing stuff around the house. So I just got to take that break for me.
Frank, just one more quick note. I think what you'll gather from all our comments on this and the amount of time and effort we put into this is that we do it because we have fun doing it. We do it because we enjoy it, and everybody here enjoys giving back to the ham community and doing that as a way to help people out, educate people, and have fun in the process. So
that's kind of hard to follow and add anything to them, but when I started out on my channel, it was mostly just all live streaming, and that's where it's at, because there's no editing. You just got to sit there and smile, But then I started getting into a little bit more of seeing the value of actually making some recordings, and I was like, how do these guys put up with that? Jason down here, the AMCK, right? Yeah, I got it right. He's got this end-fed antenna, and I was like, I'm gonna make a quick video on that, and so take 2 hours of video putting this thing together because I had never done that before, and then I had to try to cut that down into 15 or 20 minutes later, and I'm like, how do you do that? So the next day, okay, we're going to throw it up and just test it. That'd be real quick and simple, right? And it just never works out like that. But then even the lives, when some of you guys and the others get in the chats, I'm going to come out here to the shack and I'm going to hit the live button 30 minutes to an hour, make some radio contacts, and then next thing you know, 3 hours later, you got people that's watching, that's checking in with you so they can hear what they sound like at your station. And then you get involved with the chat and the conversation, and it's like, I'm going to get in trouble. I really got to get inside. But
so that's usually when the wife comes knocking on the shack door.
Yeah.
Hey, dinner's been ready for 2 hours.
Right. She sends the kid out there. Mama said come in. So okay. So.
All my stuff's lives. So I don't really have a lot of shooting video. I have some. I do a lot of the Hamfest and stuff, so y'all have seen that. And I kind of take different cuts and I move them together in iMovie. So it really don't take me that long. And I go find different music and stuff to put with it that's not monetized, that's not royalties or anything like that. So I like interviewing people. That's really, really fun. I really, really enjoy that part because I get to know you as you get to know me type thing. And it's really, and I've met some really, really cool people doing that. So, you know, and then sometimes I have these guys on my lives, obviously. And so it's really, really fun. And I think it took me, I had a 10-minute video of different Hamfest that I attended, and it took me probably about 30 minutes to an hour to actually cut it down and to make it where it was usable and make sure that if there was like any background noise, it was cut out, because honestly, it's just easier to cut that out and then add my own stuff to it.
All right, I'll try to go fast. Assume 3 to 4 hours per standalone sub 15-minute video. 3 to 4 hours for my Saturday live streams, the prep, because I usually bring slides or I've got an overhead shot and I've got to know how to do the thing that I'm talking about. Who's been in the after chat? 4 to 5 hours. Yeah, so that can be long. Ham Nation takes about 3 hours, but if people come with a lot of pictures or there's a lot of people, like that 500th episode was, oh man, that was probably 4 or 5 hours of prep, because I got to talk to people on Skype. I got to get them all synced up. The podcast, oh man, we record that. That's 4 hours every week with my wife, but that I call labor of love because it's with my wife and it's a lot of fun. And then the newsletter, which I do every month, and that takes probably another 2 to 3 hours, I'd say. But that's like spaced out through the month. I just kind of type as I go. I think that's it. Thanks.
I'm doing as much as I can every day, so I'm putting in, roughly 40 hours a week or so.
Yeah.
But it's nice doing what I'm doing now just full time, because if I don't feel like doing something one day, then I just won't do it. But or maybe I'll go out on a weekend versus doing something during the week, just because there's more people on the air on the weekend. So if I want to test an antenna and actually show how well it performs, well, sitting in a park at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday is probably not going to garner as many contacts as a Saturday morning. So I kind of get to pick and choose when I want to work. But yeah, I'm pretty much always doing something. I wake up at 8 o'clock or so and get in the shack by about 9 and start editing or go out and start filming or something. So I'm doing it full time, so which is great.
Jealous. I'm jealous, buddy.
Jealous. I put 40 to 50 hours in it a week, but it really doesn't feel like that.
No.
I went full-time on YouTube at the beginning of 2020 because I had a job that I voluntarily quit at the end of 2019, and I had a new job lined up that I was supposed to start in February of 2020, and then COVID slam dunked the world. So that job kind of never came around, and I'd already been doing YouTube for about 4.5 years at that point in time. I told my wife, I was like, you know what? My wife's got a really good job. She and I have been married almost 20 years, and she's been real supportive of me through the whole thing. And I said, I really think I can do a little bit more with this if I had 40 hours a week. She's like, okay, fine. So that's what I've been doing since then. It doesn't pay as well as the working for the man, as it were. But you know what? I get to make my own schedule. I get to go where I want to. I get to do what I want to. If she has time off, I can take time off with her now. If we want to go out of town on a Tuesday, we can do that. She's got like 5 weeks of vacation where she works anyway. So it's been a privilege to do YouTube full time. And honestly, you know, because I'm working on it late at night, first thing in the morning, recording this video. I try to record videos in batches. I'll record 2 or 3 or 4 videos at a time. And I've got it down, I've got my workflow down to where I can usually do most of my editing while I'm recording, especially if it's in the shack, because I do the scene switching and the overlays and everything. So editing doesn't take me as long just because I've kind of batched it that way. But if you go out in the field, it's a totally different ball game. So, but yeah, I spend all my days on it, 7 days a week. I'm working on it every day. But it doesn't feel like, even if it's closer to 60, 70 hours, I wouldn't know, because it doesn't really feel like work. One thing I'll say is that, you know, a lot of us make goofy faces in the, this is me I'm talking about right now, make goofy faces in the thumbnails. We act like kind of goofballs and idiots on the live stream sometimes. And sometimes, and you know, most people are like, you know, thumbs up, hey, that was fun to watch, thank you. But sometimes people come around, they're like, why do you act that way? And I'm like, you know what? Ham radio is fun. It really is. And it's not a bunch of old guys sitting around talking about their latest colonoscopy on 80 meters. So ham radio can, if you choose to make it fun, ham radio can be an awesome hobby, an awesome sport, and there's a lot of awesome things to it. And I just like to have fun with ham radio, and I want to show it to other people. So that's kind of my main thing for the last couple of years.
For me, I'll go out on a limb here and say there's weeks that I spend 0 hours on YouTube. And I'm busy watching other YouTube videos. But there's also times where I will put in, you know, 10 or 12 hours a week. A perfect example is Missouri QSO was a couple weekends ago, and I've got 7.5 hours of footage that I'm going to go through and edit that down to maybe a couple 15-minute videos. So it all depends on what I'm shooting, how I feel, if there's something that interests me, on how much time I spend on YouTube. So it's better.
We won't get into that. All I'll tell you is what I did last night was three 5-minute videos I uploaded from yesterday, and I have a lot more of 47 gigs of video left on my camera that I somehow have to weed through. But I got home from here yesterday at 5:45, ordered pizza, had a couple shots of Fireball, went to bed at 12. That was 3 5-minute videos. That's time of editing, transferring to the computer, looking at it, naming the files, taking them, putting them in folders, chopping it, editing it, then hit export. Comes out at Adobe Pro. 10 minutes later, hit upload. Can't do nothing while this one's exporting. So then it took about 5 hours to make 3 5-minute videos last night. But that's...
Maybe they got slowed down from the Fireball.
Actually, I do my best work on a couple shots of Fireball. But I just want to add this in real quick. I'm super amazed and thankful at these other guys also, because 15 years ago, I had no reason to invite anybody to this hobby, and now everybody's excited about it when they watch videos. So if it wasn't for videos and people coming out and doing all this kind of stuff and new technology, it was like, oh, ham radio, that's grandpa stuff. It's not when you look at it on YouTube. It really looks interesting and fun. And now all my friends have made fun of me. Oh, you got those antennas. Aliens again? Now they all want radio. So there you go.
So for me, it's a balance, because I'm self-employed as my primary job. So when the workload comes up there, then the YouTube hours may come down to as little as 20 hours a week. My day job slows down, and I will be on YouTube 40, 50, 60 hours a week. And it's not just all creating and editing content. There's a lot of other things that go on between answering comments. When I forget that link that you mentioned earlier, you've got to do that. Build-A-Pi, which is a script that I've written to help ham radio operators get things up and running with the Raspberry Pi, that has its own forum. I typically spend an hour some days in the forums just trying to answer questions where somebody's just gotten stumped. And if I can point them to a video that'll help them out, or point them to another reference, or just answer the question direct, all of that takes time. So it's really hard to pin it down, and then you're literally sitting somewhere waiting, maybe for an appointment that you arrived at early, and you've opened your phone and you're scrolling through comments. You know, it may be 10-minute little clips, you know, where we can answer 1 or 2 comments at least, to try to save us later in the evening from having to go through, you know, 40 or 50 of those. We can whittle it down, so maybe we've only got 20 or 25 that we need to answer later in the evening. So every week's varied, and I'm sure for these other guys as well, it depends on the type of video we're shooting as to how long it's going to take us. If I'm shooting a tutorial video for something to do with a Raspberry Pi, and it's kind of bulleted point out, I know exactly the topics I want to touch on, those are actually pretty quick videos for the most part. Like Jason said, all the editing is done basically as I'm shooting the video. There may be some overlays and things like that that I'm going to throw in there. Maybe I've got to zoom in on the content a little closer or something in post. But those typically for me are a little bit quicker than going out and doing the POTA where you've got 40, 50, 60 minutes worth of video and you got to get that cut down to 15 minutes. So it all just depends, and it's kind of an ebb and flow, and you think you've got something mapped out, and then the wife goes, let's go, we got a dinner meeting in 15 minutes. All right, well, there went that plan. But yeah, you weave it in. It's fun, and a lot of times you sit down for 30 minutes to do something, and you don't realize 30 minutes has passed or an hour has passed because you're just enjoying what you're doing. So that's my take on it.
So I normally try to spend 10 to 20 hours a week, but lately I've got a ton of video I just hadn't been able to edit and get out. Because I still film video because I'm fortunate in that we have a ham radio family, and I just got my kid back from summer college, so I'm spending my time playing radio with my kid and not editing video on those times that I have out. But you know, I spend a huge amount of time editing other video and stuff like that, and like I said earlier, I just need to get my workflow settled out to get some of that other stuff done. But probably 15 to 20 hours when I'm posting regular a week is kind of what I spend on that.
Yeah, so my channel's newer. I've only got 2 videos up right now, and I probably have 20 hours just in the 2 videos. And one of them was a 5-minute, hey, look what I just got, that I filmed in my office. My boss doesn't even know about it. He knows. He saw the box. It was a 705. But a lot of my time has actually been spent over the last year doing remote testing. So I haven't had time for the video. I've done a lot of remote amateur radio testing with the Greater Los Angeles Amateur Radio Group and the HRCC VE team.
And I'm going to brag because when Snowmageddon shut our testing down, he picked it up and got us.
Yep. Yeah, I actually was one of the ones that got to test Cody for his general. So, but yeah, so hopefully I can get my time down and get editing better, but we'll see.
So,
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap this up. A few of us have to leave for the airport here in about, I think, 30 minutes or so. But we wanted to take some time where we could just like shake everyone's hand who's interested and talk to you one-on-one. Yeah.
If I can, real quick, I'm curious if anyone in the room here, other than us, has a YouTube channel that you want to give a shout out for and point us to. I'm kind of curious if anybody's got one they want to share.
Even if it's not ham radio YouTube.
Yeah.
Ham radio A to Z.
Okay,
A to Z.
cool.
Oh yeah. Okay. I've seen that one. Ham radio A to Z.
Awesome.
Okay.
TLDR videos. That's good.
Very cool.
Need that. That's good.
All right.
Good.
Subscribe.
But yeah, we'll go hit that up. So.
Anybody else have one they want to share? Small, big, doesn't matter.
Don't have one, but
Yeah.
the guy from Wisconsin, I think,
Temporarily offline. KM9G. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Steve. He's another Steve, so he fits right into the Steves.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, Steve was going to be here. I think his children were sick, not COVID related, just like head cold or something. I don't know. And Smokin Ape, he was going to be here also, and he decided not to come because of the not masking, or not the masking, but the Delta variant and whatnot. So
Which is
people
okay.
taking it safe, which is totally cool.
Yep.
Not a problem at all. But we appreciate everyone who did show up. So. So thank you for being here today. We'll hang out here for a few minutes. Like I said, some of us have to leave, but the guy who had the 11 o'clock forum wasn't able to make it either. So we have the room for another hour, but we won't be here that long. So thanks to all of you guys. One more thing.
One more comment.
Uh-huh.
I reported Josh last night outside the
Oh, yeah, hey.
room. And you guys and ladies have the platform to spread the message and get it to the kids. I mean, y'all got the process down. Let's get it to the young folks out there. Otherwise, I mean, the average age in here is pushing 60. And
It's really up to you all. Put your kids in front of the TV, why don't you?
Yeah,
Put them in
totally.
front of YouTube where they
Yeah,
learn.
right.
That's right. Give those kids tablets.
Right,
Sit
yeah.
them down
Josh has a whole video on
We
which
got a
Android
5-year-old and a
tablet.
7-year-old. We're not trying to do much of that.
So, but thank you very much for showing up today. Thank you for all the questions. Thank you for being out there in the YouTube world. And most of us are like, hey, you know, if you guys have suggestions for something else you'd like to see on our channels, most of us are very receptive to that. So that's all a good thing. All right, Frank, I'll let you close it out.
Well, one final comment. We won't be here without y'all. So thank y'all.
Right.
We do this for y'all. It is fun for us, but I feed off of y'all's energy. More comments I get, more things. Hey, I want to see more of this. That is just makes the world of my day. And one more final editing note to all y'all. Monday Night Ham Radio. I'm creating the playlist. Shoot me your links.
Some of us have a few videos to upload.
I know.
After this weekend.
Let's get on it.
So thanks for coming out today, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, let me get.
Jason has. I'm just impressed that these microphones didn't die, and that camera ran this whole time. What? I'm gonna grab this. Hold on. Here we go. Thank you. Let me grab this, and then we'll keep talking. Okay. I'm gonna bring this up here. Come on with me. Good job, Frank. Nice to meet you again. Joe Brett. My name's Eric. Hey.